On November 10, 2025, a devastating car blast near the Red Fort metro station in Delhi changed the city forever. What began as an ordinary evening quickly turned into one of the darkest nights in the city's recent memory. The blast sent shockwaves not just through the streets, but through the hearts of millions who call Delhi home. The facts here are drawn from verified public sources as of November 12, 2025. In the days that followed, the city's newspapers and television screens were filled with updates, eyewitness accounts, and official statements as the nation tried to make sense of what had happened. This account aims to document the tragedy with clarity and respect for the victims. Across Delhi, people gathered for vigils, lighting candles and offering prayers for those affected. The city's grief was palpable, and the sense of loss united communities in mourning. That evening began like any other in Old Delhi. Crowded streets, the hum of daily life. Vendors called out to customers, families hurried home, and the city's ancient walls echoed with the familiar sounds of commerce and conversation. At 6:45 p.m., a powerful explosion shattered the routine, its roar echoing for kilometers. The sudden flash and deafening noise left people stunned, and within moments, emergency sirens pierced the night as first responders rushed to the scene. In an instant, chaos replaced normalcy, and the city was plunged into shock and silence. Streets that had been bustling just minutes before were now deserted, as fear and confusion swept through the area. The Red Fort, a symbol of India's identity, became the site of a national wound. Its historic walls, which have witnessed centuries of triumph and turmoil, now stood as silent witnesses to a new tragedy. As investigators search for answers, Delhi faces the aftermath of a tragedy that will not soon be forgotten. The city's resilience will be tested, but its spirit endures, as people come together to heal, remember, and hope for a safer tomorrow. It was a typical weekday evening at the Red Fort metro station, with commuters pouring out onto the bustling streets. The air was thick with the sounds of honking cars, street vendors calling out, and the steady hum of city life. Suddenly, everything changed in an instant. The explosion struck during peak rush hour, just outside Gate 1 of the Red Fort metro station, shattering the routine of thousands. A white Hyundai i20 stopped at a red light, detonated without warning, engulfing the car in a massive fireball and sending a shockwave through the intersection. The force of the blast was so powerful that it rattled windows blocks away, and a wall of heat swept over bystanders. Eyewitnesses described scenes of utter panic. People thrown to the ground by the blast, thick black smoke billowing into the sky, and confusion everywhere. Some tried to help the injured, while others simply ran, desperate to escape the chaos. The blast set at least 6 other vehicles ablaze, their fuel tanks igniting in quick succession, and shattered the windows of nearby shops and buses. The intersection was transformed into a scene of devastation within seconds. Screams and desperate cries filled the air as people searched frantically for loved ones, calling out names and sifting through the smoke and debris. The confusion was overwhelming, with many unsure if more explosions would follow. Initial reports confirmed at least 8 to 10 fatalities, with dozens more injured, some critically. Emergency responders rushed to the scene, tending to the wounded and covering the bodies of those who did not survive. The victims were ordinary people, a shop owner closing up for the day, a bus conductor waiting for his next shift, a young taxi driver hoping for one last fare. Each life lost was a story cut short, a family left shattered. Survivors fled in terror, fearing more explosions, as the narrow lanes and dense crowds made escape and rescue efforts even more difficult. Many stumbled through the maze of alleyways, not knowing where to turn. Sirens eventually pierced the chaos, as ambulances and fire trucks fought their way through gridlocked streets. For many, help felt agonizingly slow, and the minutes stretched on endlessly as they waited for relief. The Red Fort blast left scars, physical and emotional, that will linger for years. The city would never forget that moment of chaos, nor the lives forever changed in its wake. The attack's location was both symbolic and strategic, chosen with careful intent. It wasn't just about causing destruction, but about sending a message that would echo far beyond the city's borders. The Red Fort area is Delhi's historic heart, a dense hub of commerce, culture, and daily life. Here, centuries-old traditions blend seamlessly with the modern pulse of the city, making it a crossroads for people from all walks of life. Thousands pass through every hour, making it a tragically effective target. The constant movement and energy mean that any disruption here is immediately felt by countless families, workers, and visitors. The Red Fort itself is a national icon, where the Prime Minister addresses the nation on Independence Day. Its red sandstone walls have witnessed the unfolding of India's history, standing as a symbol of resilience and unity. An attack here is a direct assault on India's pride and a challenge to state authority. It shakes the sense of security not just in Delhi, but across the entire country. The blast struck Netaji Subhash Marg, a vital artery through Old Delhi's bustling markets. This road connects neighborhoods, livelihoods, and histories, making its disruption especially devastating. Disruption here rippled through the city's economy and daily routines. Businesses closed, traffic halted, and a sense of unease settled over the community. The perpetrators chose a place that embodies Delhi's spirit, its history, energy, and vulnerability. By targeting such a vital location, they aimed to strike at the very soul of the city. The message was clear: even the most iconic places are not immune to violence. The attack left a scar, but also a reminder of the resilience that defines Delhi and its people. After the blast, the investigation zeroed in on the white Hyundai i20. Forensic teams and the National Investigation Agency, NIA, took charge, treating the case as a terror attack. Investigators scoured CCTV footage to trace the car's route and identify the driver. The government invoked the Unlawful Activities Prevention Act, granting broad powers to detain suspects. The car's registration and ownership records were scrutinized for links to extremist groups. No group claimed responsibility, deepening the mystery and complicating the search for motive. Every lead was pursued urgently as the city demanded answers. The silence from perpetrators suggested either a new cell or a deliberate attempt to sow confusion. The nation watched, waiting for a breakthrough. The first emergency call came within minutes of the explosion. Firefighters and ambulances battled narrow, congested lanes to reach the burning vehicles. First responders faced a wall of fire and injured victims amid the wreckage. Firefighters worked to contain the blaze and prevent it from spreading to nearby buildings. Police and paramedics triaged the wounded, while citizens helped carry victims to safety. Hospitals activated mass casualty protocols, and medical staff worked through the night. The city's emergency response was tested to its limits, revealing both courage and the challenges of Old Delhi's labyrinthine streets. The blast's shockwaves spread far beyond Old Delhi. Within an hour, the entire national capital region was on high alert. Security tightened at airports, stations, and public spaces. Armed patrols became a new normal. Neighboring states increased vigilance, treating the incident as a national security threat. The city's mood shifted, streets emptied, the Red Fort closed, and anxiety replaced routine. People eyed crowds and unattended bags with suspicion. The attack disrupted daily life and pierced Delhi's sense of safety. Internationally, embassies issued advisories and world leaders condemned the attack. The blast sent a message of instability, forcing Delhi and India to confront a new security reality. The city's vibrant energy was replaced by unease and caution. The official response was swift and resolute. Leaders condemned the attack and vowed justice. Prime Minister Modi called it a cowardly act. The government invoked the UAPA, framing the incident as terrorism and empowering agencies to act decisively. High-level meetings reviewed security gaps and strategies to prevent future attacks. Compensation was announced for victims' families, acknowledging the state's responsibility. Public statements emphasized unity and resilience, urging citizens not to give in to fear. The message: India would not be bowed by terror. The true cost of the blast was measured in shattered lives and a wounded city spirit. Victims were ordinary people, families left grieving, futures cut short. Old Delhi's markets fell silent, businesses suffered, and confidence was shaken. The closure of the Red Fort deepened economic pain for locals. Conversations everywhere were dominated by fear and uncertainty. Parents worried for their children. Crowds became a source of anxiety. Yet, amid grief, stories of unity emerged. Strangers helping, blood donations, communities supporting victims. These acts of solidarity revealed Delhi's enduring resilience. The city has faced adversity before and always found strength to heal. Compassion and community proved stronger than hatred. As shock fades, Delhi faces hard questions about security and resilience. Who was responsible? Was this a lone wolf or a larger network? The silence complicates the investigation. The attack exposed gaps in surveillance and policing at even the most protected sites. Authorities must now balance tighter security with preserving daily life in a vibrant city. Community awareness and preparedness are as vital as government action. The public's swift, compassionate response showed the power of unity in crisis. Delhi must mourn, learn, and rebuild, its strength measured by how it responds to tragedy. The city moves forward, wounded but unbroken, guided by resilience and hope.